fdacs.gov/FSMA.
I'm Sabrina Halverson for the Southeast AgNet.
While we may disagree a lot, we do agree Rural King's our favorite place for pets.
Like cats, all the toys and treats and the fun little beds.
I like the dog section, the food, the chewies. Oh, pig ears.
Of course you choose the Easy Pet.
Right, because your cats are so warm and loyal.
I hope the doghouse is warm tonight.
It's never warm.
No, it's not. Can I help you?
Yeah, Rawhide?
Catnip.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be rather cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area in the afternoon. High today 89 to 91. Then look for a thunder shower in spots early in the evening. Otherwise partly cloudy. Low 72 to 76. Thursday will be partly sunny. High on Thursday 88 to 90. Thunderstorm in spots Friday afternoon with a high of 86 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. It's hump day. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, located just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. This is the show called Ocala Talks. We welcome to the phone lines we do every morning from Life South. Galen Unall, brought to you by the good folks from Palm Garden Health and easy for me to say. Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and Just Ship. Galen, good morning to you.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How are you today?
You know, I'm doing well, fresh off of another successful night of hosting trivia. You know, the trivia host won. The teams, their scores were pitiful, so I win again. Although a lot of people tell me that's not the design of the game, for me to actually take joy in that people suck at trivia.
Are you like Alex Trebek when somebody misses
Ooh,
a
sorry.
Wow, dummy. Wow.
Look, I
read a book.
I give the last
You ever say
place.
that?
Oh
Go
yeah.
read a book?
Oh yeah. I give the last place team. They get a prize for finishing dead last.
Sure.
And I tell them, we got to give you something to make you come back as bad as you are. So, you know.
Nice.
And then I steal from your Are the Weakest Link. Goodbye. You know.
Yeah.
I play it. My final bonus question, I play a movie clip, and they have to identify 5 things. They got to identify the name of the movie, name of the 2 actors in the scene, and the names of the characters they're playing. And last night it was Sally Fields and Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, I would have been terrible at that.
But the questions,
I would have known. Yeah.
The questions are not that. You know, a matter of fact, let's do an impromptu. See how smart Galen is day.
God.
Oh, here we go. This is
early.
This is fantastic. I like this. This is going to be great. I relish this right here. The fact that you trivia is not your thing either, is it? You're really not good at it, are you?
No, I either know it or I don't. I'm not one of these guys who grinds through it though either, because I lose patience for trivia. I'm good for about 5 minutes and then I start drinking and I don't care anymore.
So you're the guy that, you know, you say, yeah, I'll play trivia, answer 2 questions, and then you mess up the trivia host scorecard because you don't play anymore, and it's hard to keep track of who's playing and who's not playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're that guy.
Yeah. First round, I'm usually leading. I know that sounds cocky, but I'm usually leading, and then by then I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you're that guy. So here we go. I'll give you round 1, because round 1 is always my easiest round. Operation Overlord, which commenced on June 6, 1944, is better known as what day?
D-Day.
See, look at there. You're already 1-0. What color are holly berries?
And by the way, I just ordered a drink.
Well, there
Okay,
you
go ahead.
What color are holly berries?
Holly berries are red.
There you go. See, you're 2-0. Look, you're great at this.
Yes. That's why they're used at Christmas.
Cannoli is a typical food found in the cuisine of what country?
Italy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. See?
Yeah.
The person hired...
And by the way, I am pro cannoli.
Me too. Me too. The person hired to decorate the inside of your house is called what?
Interior designer.
See? Look, 4 and O.
And
then,
by now I'm on drink 2.
Yeah.
So we're clear.
What red and white striped and shaped candy is often associated with Christmas?
Candy cane.
Look, see,
I mean,
you're great at this.
Yeah. And, I mean, those are, and now, and the problem is how many questions were there? 5?
That was 5.
5? Right. That would have taken 30 minutes.
Half an hour, exactly. About 25 minutes. Yep.
Right. Yeah, that would have driven me nuts. I would have lost focus.
Yeah, because you ask a question, you play about 2 minutes of music in between.
I'm the least patient human being on the planet.
But you're on a roll, so let's continue. What river flows by Windsor Castle?
The Thames.
The Thames, yeah. A lady last night goes, it's not the Thames.
I would have spelled it correctly.
She goes, it's not the Thames. I go, yes it is. She goes, it's the Thames. Don't you know how to read? I was like, I'm thinking that you're the one that doesn't know how to read.
She's not wrong.
Yes, she is. It's the Thames.
I would have spelled it correctly.
Right.
I always call it the Thames, so I do the same thing.
Well, here we go.
So
round 2. You're in round 2 now. What actress spoke the oft-repeated movie line, "You had me at hello"?
Oh, well, that, of course, is Renee Zellweger.
See?
And what the heck was that movie about the draft thing?
Yeah, it was...
or the NFL.
Show Me the Money.
Show Me the Money.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the movie.
I forget the name of the movie.
There you go. There you go.
I forget the name of the movie. Tom
What's
Cruise.
his name got
Jerry
the
Maguire.
Oscar in that?
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry, he didn't get the Oscar.
Cuba Gooding Jr. did. Yeah.
Cuba Jr. did. Yeah.
Here's an easy question for me because it's one of my favorite movies. In The Princess Bride.
Yes.
What famous TV actor played the grandfather who narrated the story?
Oh, well, of course, that's Columbo.
Right.
Faulkner? No, not Faulkner.
That's close. It's very close.
I know, I'm off.
Peter Falk. Peter
Falk.
But you got Columbo. I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little credit.
I would have worked to that.
Yeah, somebody would. You'd have said the Columbo guy, and somebody would have come up with Peter Falk on your team.
Right.
All right, here we go. What is the name shared by B.B. King's guitar and a Kenny Rogers song?
I know this.
I don't think you do because you're not answering.
I do. I'm working through it. Oh, what the heck was the name of the guitar? It's famous.
It's famous. So's the Kenny Rogers song.
I know.
You ready?
That's going to drive me nuts.
You picked a fine time to leave me loose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey,
I would have. No, I wouldn't have gotten there.
You'll get this. This is a no-brainer for you. This is a no-brainer for you.
I'll take the L on that.
This is a no-brainer. What car company uses the tagline, "The Ultimate Driving Machine"?
Oh, I have one of those. It's a BMW.
You do have one of those. I knew you'd get that right away.
Your
wife has one. Let's clear that up. All right.
I'm not even allowed to look at it.
Coal is what kind of rock? Sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic?
It's a metamorphic rock.
It is not. It's a sedimentary rock.
Oh, I thought it was based on the lava.
It's a sedimentary rock.
Oh, okay, because it's compressed. It kind of makes sense.
In what year was Diet Coke first introduced?
No idea. I'm going to guess 78, 79?
82. You were in the ballpark. Bangladesh shares its largest land border with what nation?
India.
100%. It's India. That's the correct answer. What type of berries did Native Americans use to treat arrow wounds and dye clothes? Blackberries, cranberries, or blueberries?
They didn't do all three. but I'll say cranberry.
Cranberries was the permanent dye. That was what they used as the permanent dye.
Yes.
Who wrote the 95 Thesis against the Catholic Church?
The 95 Thesis.
Against the Catholic
Are you
Church.
assuming in 1995?
No,
Or
no.
1895
no.
or 1795?
It was more like the
Well, then
1300s.
Yeah, then that was, of course, Wesley.
No, Martin Luther. Father Martin Luther. Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
And then finally, the
that's
last...
right. Wesley did the methodology.
Right. The last
My
question.
bad. I should have known that. Reformation.
The last
Should have known
question.
that.
The last question.
Damn.
What
Should have known that.
renowned record producer and rapper is featured on Kendrick Lamar's single, The Recipe?
I don't know a lot of them. Producer and rapper.
Yes.
I'll go with Ben, Sean. What's his name? Sean.
Sean Puffy Combs?
Puffy.
Or Jay-Z?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Combs.
Yeah, well, it's Dr. Dre. So there you go.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
See, you would have crashed and burned, but by that time you'd already given up because you were like, I've lost interest.
I would have been.
Yeah.
I would have started talking to somebody. I'm not a. I don't know. That's why I don't play.
That's why you don't go to trivia.
And
That's why I've never seen you at one of my trivia nights.
Yeah, I would have listened and I don't care.
And here's the response I get from a lot of people that don't, the people that start to play the game and then they fizzle out after 2 or 3 questions. They go to leave at the end of the night, and I thank everybody for being there. And they go to leave at the end of the night, they go, hey, the music was good.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. But that's a huge part of it.
The music was good. They could care less about the game. Well, we enjoyed the music.
Again, that's a part of the game.
Of course it is. Speaking of part of the game,
I play trivia once a year, and we all go as a group for work for Dragon Con to this tavern up in Dunwoody, Georgia. And we play there, and they look to me for answers because I do so well in the first round. And then by the second, I'm completely hammered.
You're in your 4th good bourbon, and you don't care. You don't care.
Yeah. Because one of my brothers has probably showed up, and we're sitting around drinking and talking.
And Dunwoody,
I just don't care anymore.
When you back in the day when you said Dunwoody, people would go, "Oh, I tell you, top shelf." Now, no, not so much. It's more Alpharetta, Roswell now. Dunwoody's, kind of the inner city. Yeah, Milton.
Alpharetta is, it's falling apart, man.
Yeah, the Windward area, the Milton area. Yeah.
Right.
Out 400 north after it becomes, once it stops being a toll road. That's where the money's at.
Sure.
That's where the money's at.
400 isn't a toll road anywhere now.
I know. They shut it down from being a toll road after they paid for it. There's a novel concept. Once you actually,
like the turnpike?
Yeah, once you recoup your money to make it free after that. There's a novel concept.
Yeah, I think they had to because of the traffic was so bad.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was horrible. 400's just terrible. You couldn't.
I love it now. It's fantastic.
There's no way you could pay. There's no way you could charge people to sit in traffic. That's what they were doing.
No, but it's before I could go to the donor center either up 400 or on the outer loop, and now it's 400. It's 10 minutes fast.
Yeah. Speaking of 10 minutes, we got to take a break 10 minutes ago. We'll be right back after this timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Do you suffer from joint pain or anxiety? Natural Life CBD Kratom and Kava can help. Our CBD certified associates will consult with you. Chocolate, gummies, CBD oil. We have Delta 8 products with quality you can trust, all held to the highest standard. Natural Life has 2 locations to serve you, open 7 days a week, located in the S-Curve and in the Heathbrook Shopping Plaza. Give them a call at 352-355-3040. And if you stop in and tell them you heard it on WOCA, you'll receive 10% off your entire purchase.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, Galen Unall from Life South joins us on the line as he does always, thanks to the good folks at Penn Flooring, Just Shipped, and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen, I'm going to talk later because I got a couple of emails inquiring why I'm so mean-spirited, but I'm going to get your opinion before I delve into these emails I got that I'll do later in the show about why I'm so mean-spirited. And it concerns a school board member. 2 days ago, I took a school board member to task for saying that he wasn't invited to this Florida conference, and he feels like he's being shunned by the other board members and staff, and that, even though he got an email every week saying that this conference was there and he had to reserve his spot at this conference and everything, he doesn't check his emails because his computer isn't very good, and his iPhone, he's got, he just can't do everything on his iPhone, and it's really the superintendent's job and staff to make sure that he knows about these emails and what their contents are instead of him reading them. That's what staff is there for and everything.
Right.
We're talking about Don Browning, of course,
yeah,
who earlier, 4 or 5 months ago, said that he didn't realize the school board position he got appointed to, not elected, by the way, appointed, that he didn't realize it was a full-time job, that he had other interests like tractor restoration and his airplanes and everything, that he needed an assistant and a driver because nobody told him this was a full-time job. And then now they're wanting him to check his emails on a daily basis, and he shouldn't have to. Somebody should tell me what they say. What is this guy's problem?
I've never met him. I know people who know him. And I some of the people I talk to are like, yeah, the guy, he's actually a really good guy. He thought he was going to come in here and, be this overseer and wouldn't have to get into the weeds. And
he's a school board member.
And I really, and I think this happens a lot when people just, they look at a job from, 25,000 feet and they're like, I could do a better job. Right? And they don't know about the minutia. I see that happen all the time on city council.
Certainly.
They people don't understand that you're spending a lot of time outside of those meetings studying the proposals and things like that. And I just think he wanted the job, and I think he felt that DeSantis owed him that job. And I think DeSantis is like, yeah, take it. You want it? You got it, man. And then he's like, well, I'm going to stir the pot on a couple of situations. And he stirred the pot, he turned out to be wrong, and now I think it's just falling apart. And I do think he's been ostracized by the rest of that group because he's unwilling to caucus with them. You know, and you hear the word caucus, you think that's a bad thing. No, I think these individuals, when they're in that group, you've got to have conversations that are, kind of off the record where you could just talk about them and I know there's some legality there for some of the topics they can discuss. But, you've got to just feel people out and say, why are you for this or why are you against it?
When he said to the newspaper that he feels like they've ostracized him because they're not keeping him up to date on what's going on.
It's crazy.
He doesn't check his email. He admits, I don't check my email every day.
And by the way, you notice how it's always the same reporter.
Yeah.
The reporter just look, this guy will say something, I guarantee it. And apparently he just likes to talk.
Well, he did get a complaint filed by some employees it come out that it wasn't workplace harassment, but it was very close, is what the investigation said.
I saw that. I saw that. I think that was a bunch of hooey. I think that was just an attack.
But the fact that the man said in 2022 or 2021, if you put a KKK hat on a chair, that doesn't mean the KKK exists. Why would you even say that? Why would you even bring something like that up? I have this philosophy that every 3 months or so, somebody uses an analogy to Hitler, and it turns out very poorly for them. Well, he's right every time he uses it, by the way.
Yeah. And again, I just think he used a phrase that just wasn't good. And I saw that. I'm like, that's not harassment.
No, it was not. No, it did not.
Sure.
Right. But that's my point. But that's my point. When you see the totality, of everything, I need a driver because I'm busy. I need an assistant because I'm busy. I didn't know this was a full-time job. The governor appointed me to it. I didn't realize I was going to have to work. I can't check my emails every day because I don't have a good computer. When you add the totality of his comments up, the Klan doesn't exist. Just because you have a Klan hat in a chair doesn't mean the Klan exists. The totality of all of it is to the point now where I don't think this guy can do the job. That's my personal opinion.
Right. He was never going to run for re-election, from what I'm hearing. He was filling the job. He asked for it. DeSantis gave it to him. And again, he'll be gone soon, right? But until then, he sells some newspapers with stupidity.
He does sell fish wrappers. He does.
Yeah.
He does sell some fish wrappers.
I agree. I don't know what else. At some point, we'll. And by the way, let's be clear. He's not the worst. I know people love it when I say that. He's not the worst school board member we've had in the last 5 years.
No.
So,
no. I got that discussion with somebody Sunday. We rattled off 6 or 7 that were in the last 10 years. The last 10 years that made him look like a choir boy.
He may be in the top 10 best school board members we've had. We've had some terrible ones. Absolutely. He could have been our school superintendent for 2 of the 3 last ones and done a better job.
Well, don't get me started on Tommen. Don't get me started on that guy.
Well, I wasn't going to bring him up. For the last, I don't mention my name because, God forbid, my phone start blowing up.
Well, there you go.
Because I don't. And by the way, if you start an argument with somebody and you're talking about a politician, and they say, "Well, you just don't understand what they're trying to do," I think I do. I think I know exactly what they're trying to do.
Well,
and
that's
what you're not willing to have a conversation about it.
And that's what one of the emails that I got goes, Tom, you just don't understand what Don Browning's trying to accomplish at the school board. I go, yeah, I do. He came in to stir the pot. I know exactly what he's trying to accomplish.
Right. Absolutely.
I know exactly what he's trying to accomplish.
But what drives me nuts about that is they have a bully pulpit, right? It's the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. You have a megaphone. He can obviously go to any reporter he wants to, and they're like, this guy is a quote machine.
Yeah, he's like the Steve Spurrier. He's like the Steve Spurrier of school board members. You know you're going to get something to write.
That's right. And the superintendent has this radio station. Heard of the interviews that were conducted at the station.
You're breaking up. It's a good time to go.
Not just a homework issue, but a lot of those.
Let's go. Hey, yeah. you broke up, so we'll have to come back to that because we're up against a break. We'll be back after this timeout. On Ocala Talks, you're listening to us on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
One of the remaining sticking points for Senate negotiators trying to get a deal this week on gun violence legislation: how big to go on background checks for gun sales. That's a narrower approach than earlier legislation aimed at expanding background checks, including some old bills written by Joe Manchin, the Democrat from West Virginia, and Pat Toomey, the Republican from Pennsylvania. Those would require background checks for gun shows and internet sales. The decision by Mexico's president to boycott this week's Summit of the Americas for regional leaders in Los Angeles, California, has influenced other leaders. As President Biden was not inclusive to other countries in our region, key nations in Central America are following President Obrador's lead by dispatching only lower-level delegates instead of their leaders. USA Radio News.
I tend to second-guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio. On the phone lines with me is Galen, from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring, just shipped Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Let's go out to the phone lines, though, real quick. Good morning. You're on with Galen and Tom.
Good morning. The school board people are paid, right?
About $54,000 a year.
Okay, so this school board member y'all are discussing, he said he didn't know it was a full-time job. Did he think he was getting that payment for a part-time job?
That was his. That's the way I took it. Is that the way you took it, Galen?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
the way I took it.
Yeah, everybody. Well, it's actually not. It's listed as a part-time job. That's not really listed as a full-time commitment. I don't think he realized how many hours he was going to be committing to, or supposed to be committing to it.
But yes, it is a $54,000 constitutionally elected job.
So how much more time does he have?
About a year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Have a good day. Yeah, I think a lot of, and you're right. That if I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be fair, it is a job that they say is not a full-time job. It's a job that, I don't think people realize it takes 25 to 30 hours a week to do the job effectively.
Well, and he is also up for re-election in November of 2022, but he's not running for election.
Right, he's not running. So he'll be, and then they'll swear in the new school board member, whoever wins, in December or January. So
is that what
it's not quite a year. He's got probably 6 months left. Let's go. We got one more call. We got one. Nope, they went away. Okay, good. They went away. All right. Well, sorry. We had you ready to go, but you went away. So let's switch gears now, Galen. Talk a little sports. The USGA has put out a statement that said, I'm paraphrasing here, but it says, if you've qualified for our tournament, we don't care what tour you're representing, you get to play in our tournament.
Yep.
That's basically what the USGA said. If you've qualified, we have qualifications. If you've met those qualifications, you get to play in the U.S. Open, which means Phil Mickelson can play in the U.S. Open because he has exemptions from winning the PGA Championship last year. Dustin Johnson can play in the U.S. Open. Sergio Garcia, past Masters champion, can play in the U.S. Open. Graham McDowell is qualified. Louis Oosthuizen is qualified. So basically, everybody who's made a splash by going over, even Kevin Na, who have made a splash by going over to the LIV, they are all USGA approved because the USGA said, look, we have a stringent qualifying, and if you've met those requirements, who are we to say you can't play in our tournament?
Well, and this is what we said at the very beginning. The U.S. Open is an open. And if they were to change that and bar someone from who qualifies, it would completely destroy the whole mystique about the Open. It's an open tournament.
Right.
and that's part of the beauty of it.
I'm
So
sure that
I'm not
sure the
surprised
Royal
by this at all.
I'm sure the Royal and Ancient will, if they don't issue a statement, it'll be understood that that's the same thing that will apply to them. We already know the Masters chooses who they want to invite. It has nothing to do with the PGA Tour. The Masters does what they want to do. So legitimately, the only major that may issue a statement saying they're not allowed to play in that major because of their affiliation with the PGA is the PGA of America Championship.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And again, the USGA is a governing body for the PGA Tour. They don't have anything else to do with the
They
day-to-day
just set the rules. That's all they do. They set the
maturation.
rules.
They govern. That's right. They govern the game of golf.
They're the umpires.
in the country.
They're
right.
the umpires.
Right. And they run basically a handful of tournaments every year. It's the U.S. Open, the Junior Opens, and a couple of
the mid-amateur, the mid-amateurs, the amateurs, stuff like that.
Right. But I put that all in the body of the U.S. Open, right? Because those are all qualifiers.
Certainly.
And then they do the amateurs, and that's kind of it. And they do it for the women as well. And again, I'm not surprised by this at all.
Is there ever a chance?
And by the way, they're going to be allowed to play in the British Open. We already know that.
Yep.
And so the real question is the Masters. Nobody cares about the PGA.
By the way,
nobody.
They're going to be able to play in the Masters. You can mark that down.
Because
the Masters
isn't
going to let the PGA tell them what they're going to do. It's just not going to happen.
No,
the tournament that's going to suffer the most is the Players' Championship. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the Players' Championship. It's going to lose all of those players because that is the PGA Tour's championship.
That's correct.
So that's the tournament that's really going to take a hit. And I don't think it'll take a hit for much because you'll still have Colin Morikawa, you'll still have Roy McIlroy, you'll still have Tiger Woods. There'll be big names that play in the Players' Championship. It just won't be the ones that are in the LIV. But don't you think with the USGA moving this way, which we knew they would, and with the other sanctioning bodies probably going to allow, we know the British Open will be one. Eventually, the PGA Tour is going to have to acquiesce, aren't they?
No. They don't have to. It all depends, and this is the way it's going to work out. Let's say Dustin Johnson wins the U.S. Open, right? Now the LIV is arguably the best tour in the world.
It's got the U.S. Open champion.
Right, and Phil Mickelson. And by the way, Tiger's not playing in the British.
Nope.
There's all these.
He's not playing in the Open Championship. Exactly.
In the Open. Yeah. So all these things are falling into place, and the LIV hasn't even swung a club yet. Right? They haven't made a single shot.
Not one club. Is it this weekend? Is it this weekend?
Yeah. I'm not. Let's just see how it does.
Where are we going to be able to? I got to find out where we can watch that. I got to find out where we can watch it. Sky Sports, I think, is the only place.
Yeah, I'll have to Google it. I don't know.
Yeah. With all the streaming services and all, we'll be able to find it somewhere.
Sure.
We know where it's not going to be. It's not going to be on the Golf Channel.
Well, I know they're already going to. I know they're going to do it all on streaming. They've already got like YouTube set up and a Facebook page set up.
Because the tours at the RCB, the tours at the RCB Canadian Open this weekend.
Right, they're going to mic up all of the players. It's part of what they have to do. They're going to mic up the caddies, and it'll be interesting to see how they broadcast it if it gets picked up by TV. But again, as I've said a million times,
here's how
I
to do it.
I don't think that commentators add anything.
The only way to catch the LIV Golf's London event is livgolf.com, and YouTube and Facebook will carry live streams. The LIV, the YouTube, and Facebook pages will carry live streams. So they're reaching a younger audience right there. And in the ultimate goal, and I know the atrocities that we're talking about in Saudi Arabia, but they play tour stops in China, and it's no worse in Saudi Arabia than it is in China. They have slaves in China. Slaves. Okay?
Yeah, I'm just kind of.
But it isn't the goal of all golf to grow the game with the youth so that you can keep the game going? And the LIV League, if they're doing this all on live streaming, Facebook, YouTube, and their own .com, they're not reaching out to the Don Brownings of the world.
Wow.
You like
know
what I
they're
did
doing
there?
a shotgun start? Yeah, that was pretty
You
good.
like what I did
You know
there?
they're doing a shotgun start?
I did not know that. Hey, let's take a call real quick.
Interesting.
Good morning. You're on with
That's
Galen and Tom.
Yes, good morning. I'm just making sure you're all set for your interview with Matt Gramata this morning.
Yes, we're set. We're set with our interview. We're live on the air. Thank you. Yeah. That's an interview coming up later, folks. Matt will be our interview later this morning. So, but yeah, hey, I like how she did
really
that.
Gonna do?
I like how she did that.
Yeah, they're going to do. They're gonna do 48 players. They're gonna be.
They're all mic'd up.
That's actually a neat idea.
They're all mic'd up.
They're going to do a shotgun start.
Yeah, the only problem with shotgun starts for me, because I have to be true to who I am, and I lobbied for a very long time. You know, the Bo Williams City Amateur is played here in Ocala, and it's named after Bo Williams, and the name Bo Williams conjures up the same respect that I would think Henry N. Camp conjures up, and you know, the
Yankees. No.
Well, Bo's a very accomplished golfer and everything. But anyway, the point I'm making is when you have a city amateur, it should start on the 1st and 10th tees and play like a city amateur would, or something like the camp plays. It should not be a shotgun start event. So I've lobbied for years, and finally they made it where it's not a shotgun start event. So when you talk about serious golf tournaments, and I know this is a new concept with the shotgun start on a televised golf tournament when people do it all the time at regular golf courses. I just think golf is supposed to be played at these kind of tournaments. Golf is supposed to be played off the 1st and the 10th tee because that's how the course was designed. The course wasn't designed to start on the 5th hole. When the designer designed the course, he didn't design the course for you to start your round on the 5th hole.
Here's why I like it. This is a made for TV or a made for a consumer watching it event.
And it gets everybody on the course all at one time.
Right. You no longer have a leader in the clubhouse. Right? So you're going to know exactly where you stand.
What do you mean you no longer have a leader in the clubhouse? Depending on how slow your group plays, you're damn sure going to have some people finish ahead of other people.
They're only having 2-man groups, which I love. I think that's. So
there's going to have to be double. So with two-man groups, shotgun starts going to have double tees.
2-man or 3-man?
I don't.
2-man or 3-man?
3-man.
I don't know.
3-man and 18. What's 18 times 3? You know, that's 46, right? Yeah. So it's still too many. Two less. So if you do 2-man groups, you're going to have to go off double tees on some of the holes. And that's going to back it up even more.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yes.
But I like the idea. I like something different. I know they're going to do some team golf that I don't completely understand because I haven't looked at it. I'm okay with it. Try something different.
Yeah, well,
right? Try something different.
The course was not designed to start on the 7th hole.
Oh, come on. You're a professional golfer, Tom. You think where you start matters that much?
Yes, it does. Oh,
No.
well,
So
hold on. Because you and I are just hackers who have never seen the pressure of a pro tour. Let's ask a former professional golfer their opinion. Intern Natalie? Hold on. Go ahead.
He didn't have my mic on. Yeah. So
Natalie competed on the professional tours as a female, as a golfer on the female tours. So Natalie, what do you think about shotgun start?
well, I think one of the glaring things is that as as a spectator, you don't know where the winner is going to be. So normally if you start on the 1st and 10th, you're
18 and 9 are where you go for the finals.
right. Your leader is going to come in at a certain hole, so everybody can be prepared and be there to see the final putts and so on. So that part, I think, if you have a shotgun start, you don't know what hole, what leader is going to, at the end where they're going to be. So that's one thing. And two, I agree with Tom that, the course wasn't designed. I didn't always like shotgun because it's just strange.
So there you go, Galen, from somebody that knows a whole lot more about golf than either one of us do.
No, I do respect your view, but I will say it's a made-for-TV event.
It is a made-for-TV event.
Know where it is. And by the way, Tom, you and I have been a spectator at so many events. Until the last 5 years, you really had no idea in a real-time situation who was leading the golf course and where they were, right? Because the scoreboards were 10 to 15 minutes, in some cases half an hour behind, right? So you didn't have an idea as to where the leader are. Now,
but you knew where the leader would finish up, 18.
Yeah, but how many? Okay, out of all the people who go through and buy a ticket, how many people actually get to the 18th green? 10%.
By the end of the tournament, by the fourth day of the tournament, if it's 10%, if it's 10% at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, if only 10% get to the 18th green, that means there were 800,000 people there that day because they put 60,000 people around there, and there wasn't 800,000 people at the tournament.
No, and again, I don't. Very few people stick around because they're like, oh, I'm going to go watch the tournament on TV and see how it ends.
60,000 stick around.
Not at every tournament. Those people live there. They don't have far to walk. They don't have to go to traffic.
See, this is what he does when he's wrong. He just keeps bloviating when he's wrong. So it just extends the argument.
No, what I said was I think it's different. I think it's interesting. I like the fact that it's 3 rounds. It'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There is no cut, so why the heck because it's such a shorter tournament, you're going to have more likely have a playoff scenario.
Well, the three, by the way, you want something different. The 3 rounds is not different. They've been playing only 3 rounds of golf on the Champions Tour since its inception.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's bad. Give it a shot. You know, again, they have to differentiate themselves from the PGA Tour and from what you consider a traditional golf tournament. Let's see. Give it a shot.
Well, I'm watching. By the way, with
shotgun start.
With all this talking,
if you're a professional, it shouldn't matter because once you've played a first hole, once you tee up, you should be ready to play that.
You're wrong, but once it starts this weekend, once it starts on Friday, regardless of whether I like the shotgun start or not, I'm not watching the RCB Canadian Open. I'm watching online the LIV tournament just to see what it's all about.
I'll probably watch highlights until Saturday, and then we'll see where I'm at.
Yeah, but you don't watch golf like I do. I mean,
no, I don't.
I tune in Thursday, I watch Golf Channel on Thursday and Friday a little bit for the RCB Canadian Open, but most of my weekend golf watching will be on my tablet or computer because that's where I'll have to get it from.
Well, it's competing. I think it's the start time is the exact same time as qualifying for Azerbaijan. I can't say that, for F1 this weekend.
So you're watching that, and that's another thing I do like about this tournament is it's going to be on early in the morning, so I can still watch the PGA Tour in the afternoon if I want to.
Sure. Well, that's again something different. Why the heck not?
You know, I watched the USFL one week. It's terrible football, so I haven't watched it since. But I tuned in just to see what was. I tuned in to see what was going to happen.
Sure.
You know,
again,
it's terrible football. It's I've watched one MLS game. It's terrible soccer, so I don't watch anymore. But I watched once.
That makes me laugh.
So we'll see, But hey, Joe Madden out with the California Angels, fired. This guy goes to Tampa Bay, turns Tampa Bay into one of the best franchises as a manager in sports at the time. Then he goes to Chicago, does well with the Cubs. Then he goes out, he's going to turn around the Angels. It's been abject failure with the Angels. How quick in pro sports you can just have that meteoric rise burn out on you. Joe Madden out, fired as the Los Angeles of Anaheim Angels manager.
Yeah, I just don't think they bought into his style, right? If you look at what he was able to do with the Rays was with a bunch of young kids, and then he became slowly into this very interesting guy. But I don't think he ever. And the Angels is a much older roster.
Right, the Cubs bought in because they had a younger roster at the time with the Cubs.
They had a young core.
Yeah.
Right, and then I'd say the Mike Trouts of the world, the Otanis. He couldn't manage that bullpen. He didn't have the staff that he had in Tampa. They don't, and the Angels don't have the statistics that the Rays invested so heavily in, and then the Cubs bought into the exact same formula. The Anaheim Angels don't have that infrastructure, and that, by the way, that's why they're consistently losing, because they're not looking at this as a math problem. They're looking at it as a personnel problem, and it's truly a math problem. That's the secret of baseball. If you didn't learn anything else from Moneyball, it's all a math problem.
It's all math.
Yep.
Billy Bean showed you over 162 games, he can bring in players you never heard of, but when they have the right math, the right numbers, and the math works over 162 game schedule, he will win a lot just using math. Now, the math goes out the window in a 7-game series or a 5-game series, but over 162 games, over the long haul, it's purely about math. Purely.
That's right. That's right. I'm not surprised they got destroyed the last 2 games by the Red Sox.
Destroyed.
It didn't look very good. Last night's game went into the 10th. He mismanages that bullpen because he's not accustomed to making those kind of decisions. Usually he looks at his cheat sheet. The cheat sheet says do this, and that's going to save you. And what he's used to managing is young personalities, and he didn't have any of that in Anaheim.
Yeah, he got an aging ball club, and people go, he's got Mike Trout. Mike Trout is now an aging ball player. This isn't Mike Trout's 3rd year in the league.
I'm a huge Mike Trout fan.
So am I.
But when you lose 13 games in a row, and again, Mike Trout leaves the game with groin tightness last night.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I have a real problem.
Somebody in California, somebody with the Angels organization, needs to say, hey, before the All-Star break, Trout's expendable.
Yeah, but when they do this, they don't get anything in return because
that's the problem.
There's no leadership in that franchise. They have no infrastructure. They don't have somebody who's looking at this. They're the anti-Billy Bean. They're like, well, we're just going to spend it, and they think they're the Dodgers. The Dodgers are like, you can win in baseball 2 ways. You can do it via math, or you can just throw money at the problem.
And the Dodgers are paying,
by the way, have more money.
By the way, the Dodgers are paying $77 million in a luxury tax for their roster.
Right. And look, they're paying for contracts that the people that aren't even on their roster. But that's the 2 ways you can win. And the Anaheim Angels are not spending enough to win that way. And they're like their decisions they make on their what you would call mid-level players is always terrible.
Right. Somebody
look at their lineup. They have no pieces to offer.
And
where you make value is that mid-tier.
And Albert Pujols, they said when he signed that agreement with him and all, he's no longer there. But when he signed the agreement with him, there's speculation now that he was 3 years older than he actually let anybody know because he's, that he's one of those island nations where they'll flub a birth certificate. And that they may have bought older goods than they thought they were buying in the first place. And that's on Anaheim for not doing due diligence. If they did hire a guy or pay a guy that was 3 years older than everybody thought.
Well, look at who you got a guy like Kurt Suzuki, right, who is a manageable catcher. He's old now, right? He can play once or twice every 3 or 4 days, but he's got no trade value.
None.
But they paid him a ton to play there. A ton. They played a whole lot more than they should have. I'll put it that way.
Somebody I watched, speaking of paying too much because we're up against the break, we're up against the hour. But somebody said, going back to the Dodgers, that $77 million. The Dodgers are paying in luxury tax what most teams would pay for 3 good pitchers or 2 great pitchers.
Sure. And their TV contract they don't care.
$4 billion. They don't care. They don't care.
Their ratings are crazy high.
They paid $2 billion. They paid $2 billion for the team, and 7 days afterwards signed a $4 billion television contract. They don't care. They don't care. Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're actually at the Walmart out in the Shores, so come check us out there. But as always, we're right on the boulevard, lifesouth.org. Give blood today. Every 2 seconds, someone needs a blood transfusion.
Galen Unoff from Life South. Thanks for joining us, pal. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
We'll be right back after this timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Actor Matthew McConaughey on Tuesday recounted emotional stories from the victims of the Uvalde, Texas school shooting and advocated for gun control measures at the White House press briefing Tuesday. McConaughey is from Uvalde, Texas. Soft on crime, San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin will not finish his first term as the city's top prosecutor. Boudin speaks to staffers after Tuesday's successful recall.
We have 2 systems of justice, right? We have one for the wealthy and the well-connected and a different one for everybody else.
Also in California, Democrat Representative Karen Bass and billionaire developer Rick Caruso are headed to a November runoff to become Los Angeles' next mayor. A former member of the Republican Party, Caruso changed his affiliation to the Democrat Party when he became a candidate in this election. USA Radio News.
Paid for by GovMint.com. Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-888-7630 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7630. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7630 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-888-7630.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The peanut market is trending higher on extremely thin trading, according to the brokers. Current crop of peanuts can be bought, shelled peanuts, in the high 50s, 50 cents a pound. But they are uninterested in selling any of the new crop as farmers are unwilling to contract any peanuts. They're waiting right now to decide if this crop is going to get a rain and get to moving. Any sales for new crop would have to be in the 60 cent plus if anybody would want to sign the contract. Delayed final peanut plantings for new crop are anticipated to be 8 to 10% lower than this time last year, and they're saying that some farmers are planting late, have planted cotton instead of peanuts. The buyers and the sellers want to watch markets for a while to judge progress of the new crop and the weather developments before making any further decisions. So we're at a standstill on the domestic U.S. peanuts with peanut farmers. Meanwhile, Chinese demand for peanuts is at a record high, according to the processors. They're suffering a sunflower shortage due to the Russian-Ukraine conflict. Chinese market has cooled down after some periodic changes. The prices are stable, they said, but the lockdown in China has added to the producers and the plant woes of having enough people to run those peanut oil plants.
They say farming isn't a career, it's a way of life. While the work is rewarding, the daily stresses can be both physically and emotionally demanding. Sadly, 50% of farmers say it's difficult to access